Cheers folks and welcome to my channel. It's Alliance War number 7 in season number 7, and today we are meeting another big one. For Loki, Guardians of the Stone, the Alliance of Brian Grant, or for those who follow him on YouTube, Contest Champion. And very strong alliance. For me, they are top 5, one of the toughest defenses that you can fight against, and very, very strong fighters. So this was clearly going to be a very close war. And as for my part, it was also the war of small, stupid mistakes. And, you know, I always have a very educational approach in my channel, trying to help you improve and help you, learn from other people's fighting strategies and so on. Today, you will also learn from other people's mistakes, meaning mine. But more about this a little later. I was again on my path number 1. And my team, Corvus with Proxima Synergy, as it was a original Spider-Man mini-boss, and also I brought Emma Frost for the Poison node. So that was my team, and so 2 rank 5 champions, and basically Proxima is the one giving synergy. She's not really meant to fight with in this Alliance War. Starting off path 1 as usual on the left hand side, and going to path number 8. And as always, as I'm in Europe, the first fights are in the evening, and then I'm going to bed, and then I'll usually finish the rest of the path during the morning. So the first champion that I had as a opponent on this path, on note number 1, a rank 4 Mystic champion, and as always on our level, and I think in general, you know, if you want to keep death low, you always boost. You start in the beginning with the lower boost, because of course in the beginning also the champions that you fight are less strong, or the nodes are less difficult, but still it gives you also a certain security, I would say, when you fight with a boost, that, you know, just makes you feel a little bit more confident. And I can tell you, the worst death that you can have is the death in like the first couple of nodes. Those are the ones that are usually unnecessary. Those are the ones you can avoid. And actually, most of them you can avoid by boosting. And so the first champion I met is a Unstoppable Colossus. So first I wait until his Unstoppable phase is over. Then I fight him as usual. I wait for him to fire off his special. And once he fired off his special, I have to wait again until his Unstoppable is over. And he was placed with quite a bit of Mystic Dispersion. So just from my 1 dexterity, he gets quite a bit of energy. And then I mistimed once, and that was the first small mistake. When his Unstoppable phase was over, and he hit me, but again, it's at the beginning they're not as strong. Emma also helps that she immediately gets into diamond form, and so she takes less damage. But also again, the boost helped to, you know, feel also confident when you get hit and when you get clipped. You know, not to panic and to just continue that fight and you know, still feel confident about it. And then the next node next morning was already the poison node, node number 25. So 250% extra attack, 150% extra health, enhanced poison abilities, and also inflicts poison, draining 100% health over 60 seconds, and plagued mind, meaning every 25 seconds you lose all of your power. So watch that timer when you want to use your specials, so you don't run the risk of wanting to fire off your special just when you're being power drained. That's what you want to avoid. And opponent, a rank 5 mutant champion. So now we already start the phase where, you know, they're getting more difficult, especially because this node has 250% extra attack. So quite a bit of extra strength on that node. So, you know, that's why I used big boosts for this. And also because in such an important war against 4 Loki, you just boost big. Basically almost now all the way till the end. And it turned out to be also a Emma Frost. Emma Frost stun immune, so you can't parry stun her in the beginning, so you have to wait until she fires off a heavy, which she does here, and then counter. And my advice is because her, specials with the inverted controls can be a bit tricky. My advice, because this one is not an unblockable special node, you block the first part of her special and just evade the second part of her special. I played it safe like that. I didn't feel like I had to evade both parts of her special just to show how skilled I am. I played it safe. I blocked the first part of the special. I evaded the second part of the special, which allowed me to directly counter attack right after that. Here, directly counter attack. And then also that enabled me in a way to keep her in her telepath form, always using my special 1 so that I don't have 1 bar of power, because if I avoid myself to have 1 bar of power when she fires off her special, then actually she will stay in telepath form, and that's when she takes more damage. And then rinse repeat, block first part of a special, evade second part of a special, and then directly counter attack. And that was actually quite a solid fight, and getting her down in absolutely the right amount of time with actually no mistake whatsoever. And then I moved on directly to node number 26 because I had my Corvus Glaive, and node number 26 there was a rank for mutant champion, and that was supposed to be the first mission for Corvus Glaive, meaning the mutant mission, because I was also about to collect missions on my way to original Spider-Man on the mini-boss node. And turned out to be a Psylocke. So the node has plus 200% extra attack and extra health, and as you can see, this Optimist and Pessimist, meaning that there is Armor Up Fury and Health Steal above, below 20% health and above 80% health. But Psylocke, very easy to evade her specials, and then it's enough to have 1 special 2, and she is down. So on my way to the Spider-Man mini-boss, very important that I collected this mission, because I knew now, as I continue on the upper path, now next champion is a tech champion. So next champion gives mission number 2, and it's a 6-star duplicate champion on this node, which is mainly characterized by power gain. So power gain is 100%, and also outlast an optimist, but it's especially the power gain that you have to watch out for. And turned out to be a Yondu. Now the good thing is, even though he inflicted bleed when hitting in my block, is that Corvus doesn't bleed or suffer the bleed damage as long as he has his glaive charges. So I was basically immune for that first one. And then I just get him to his special 1, wait for him to fire off his special 1, which is easy to evade, and then I counter. And then after 2 of his specials 1, it was already enough with the high boost and also the 1 mission that I had from Psylocke. And now I have 2 missions, a tech mission and a mutant mission. And that brought me then to the next node, which was Brian Grant's Defender, and a rank for unduped tech champion. On this node usually is a LOL Ultron, classic Ultron. It has a special 1 bias, and special 1 is also unblockable and plus 30% damage. And also, if you're hit by a special 1, you are power drained by 100%, and it has 225% extra attack and extra health. And it also turned out to be the classic Ultron on that note. Now, the only goal I had on this fight was to get the True Strike mission. That's why and there he evaded, and now I wanted to get the True Strike mission. And unfortunately, after block him in here, I didn't use my heavy. I only used the heavy here, which was actually too late because now he got his evade phase again. That was just stupid. And I had to wait until I actually now have my special 1, and now I have to fire. Now when I fired off my special 1, then I finally got the True Strike mission, but I could have actually gotten it earlier. That was the second stupid mistake on my path, that I didn't use the heavy already in the first time I parry stunned him, but only in the second time. So be aware, every 7 seconds that Ultron evades. So don't wait too long after the first evade, otherwise he will evade again, and then you can't actually fulfill your mission. And then I recorded already the next two nodes. The next node is the famous Bane node, and also plus 400% health, plus 200% attack. Bane, I think I explained a couple of times already how that works. I don't think I have to explain it again. But just make sure that when the Bane timer runs off, you are hitting your opponent again. Otherwise, the Bane timer switch onto you, and then you take damage by the current health of your opponent. And I also recorded then the mini boss that I was about to take, which is the lower left side mini boss, plus 500% health, plus 200% attack, and the unblockable special 1, which also deals 30% more damage, and it's a stun immune champion. And the reason why I recorded those two is because I planned on taking a power up boost, and that always lasts 3 minutes, and I didn't want to risk to then record the next node explanations, and then by the time I have recorded the next node explanations, the buff or the boost is running out. So you know, if you only have 3 minutes, you have to use those 3 minutes. And then what happened, and now I'm coming to the really to the worst mistake that I did. I took all my boosts, and I took big boosts. I took big attack boost, the cosmic 200% boost, the cosmic special damage extra boost, the big health boost, and the 30% champion boost, and now also the power up boost, which finally after a month now was again in store. And then I was about to attack, and you see the clock there, and I didn't pay attention to that clock. It's 4, 3, 2, 1, and now I pressed fight, and you will see what happens. This. The screen froze. Because basically the timer ran off, and usually when the timer runs off, it goes back to you standing in front of that champion. Now, because I unfortunately pressed fight, it counted like as a fight, but I couldn't fight, so it was a force close, and it counted as a death, and I lost half of my health. And the most stupid thing is, because I was now furious, I was raging with anger, but I had my freaking boosts on, so I had to continue, and I had to make sure that I, you know, do those fights for as long as the boosts are on. So thank God I had my true strike, because I don't know what would have happened now if I didn't have my true strike. And I was really mad. At this stage, I was just about to throw my iPad into the corner, and, you know, just hate myself for my stupidity at that moment. But as you also see, rage sometimes can be productive when it takes down a Nightcrawler with 19 hits. I was so pissed. I was so pissed at that stage. But, you know, there's nothing you can do. And, you know, with how rare those power-up boosts have been in store lately, I didn't want that power-up boost to go to waste. And so clearly, I mean, now I was still boosted. Also still boosted with the power-up boost. So, of course, I proceed right away to the Spider-Man, now having 3 charges and the True Strike. And you will see, so what you do against the Spider-Man is basically you let him fire off his heavy, you evade his heavy, and then you directly counter attack. And already after 2 rounds, you have your special 2 ready because of the power boost. He doesn't even fire off his special 1, which would have been unblockable, but just counter attack. Actually, I should have just, after that, I should have just directly used my special 3. Like that, he would have been down and wouldn't also have been able to use a special 1 again. But at that moment, I was just, my head was so full of rage and you know, hate for that stupid mistake that I was just trying to get him down in the way that I thought at that moment was the right one. So I hope you learned from this mistake. What we say in general now is, and that I should have respected from the beginning, don't use the boosts when you are on the screen that is counting that minute down. Use the boosts just before you go to that node that you're going to fight. Then you still have the full minute, and then you don't run the risk of, you know, getting too close to the end, which is where what happens, or it happened also to a couple of my teammates and to a couple of other people, that you get a force close and it counts as a death, and you basically lose half of your health, which is very unfortunate, which is a bug in my opinion from Kabam. But at the end of the day, nobody cares about it because it counts as a death, and that's what you have to deal with. Now, fortunately, even though I had that stupid disconnect death, we won this war. It was a damn close war. It was really, really close. So I give a big shout out to those beasts at 4 Loki. Great war. It was really a fantastic war. I'm not yet sure if Brian Grant is going to do a video about it. If he will, then I'm going to put a link in my description so you can check out also how he cleared his path, because I think he cleared his path very flawlessly without dying. And I hope, as usual, that this experience that I had during that war was again helpful for you, useful for you. And if you liked the video, feel free to give it a like. If you are new to the channel and would like to see more war videos like this in the future, then feel free to hit the subscribe button. And I hope to see you all very, very soon on my channel again without any stupid mistakes next time. Cheers, folks.